an Empire Boxing and Unlearning Network production.
River, Logan, welcome. And we've got some questions lined up for you. Dan, do you have any first questions?
Yeah, sure. I'll start off with River. So you're having a rematch with Dara, a very competitive fight, and you guys went toe-to-toe. It was an exciting fight. What do you think is going to be different now that you guys are fighting a little bit heavier at 122 and fighting a 6-rounder for your first time and her first time?
Okay, that's a lot of factors. I don't think the weight will make a huge difference. She wanted to fight up, and it's going to be just easier for both of us. So I don't think that makes any difference. Our bodies are the same. Rematch, I think it will be a completely different fight. I don't know, everybody gets sharper from fight to fight. Every training camp starts on the next level. And I just think it will be a completely different fight. Yeah, she got her ring rust off, so yeah, it will be very different. Yeah.
Excited for the 6-rounder?
I'm so excited about the 6-rounder. Yeah, that's the interesting stuff about the pros, right? So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Amazing. Logan, making your pro debut July 20th from the prairies, from Saskatoon.
Yes.
Stepping onto the River Rock main stage. Now, the River Rock hasn't had pro boxing there in about 10 years. This is a pretty significant event for all of us. What does it mean to you to be making your pro debut at an iconic boxing location like that?
It's perfect. It's absolutely awesome. It's at the River Rock, beautiful venue. We got great fighters on the show. We got a great promotion company. We got a great team. So it's going to be a great show. Buy your tickets, show up.
Shameless plug. Well done, lad. Well done. We'll keep them. What are your main hopes for the statement that you want to make with this your very first pro fight?
I just want to put on a show. I want to entertain the crowd, entertain the fans, anyone who's watching. We're not going out there to take anybody's head off. We're going to be smart, but I'm there to entertain and I'm there to put on a good fight.
Amazing. Dan, back to you.
Yeah, so, I was behind the scenes trying to work on Logan's fight, and, sometimes we run into a lot of challenges because we're faced with fighters knowing their past and kind of their amateur background, and, they don't want to fight, they don't want to step up to a challenge that big. So that was one of the challenges for us and trying to make a fight for Logan. So I'm really happy we have Nama Daguerre from Toronto willing to step up. And do you know much about him, or is there anything that you want to speak on regarding your opponent?
Southpaw, he's tall. I know he's gonna come game. Lots of people are saying, taking a first fight against Southpaw, slick style, all that. It's a tough first fight, but I'm here to prove it that I deserve to be in there, and I'm one of the top dogs around.
Awesome. Now, River, you have an extensive amateur background. You're now more or less a veteran in the pro scene. What kind of advice would you give to someone making their pro debut, like a new boxer up and coming?
Oh, that's a cool question.
I tend to roll that way.
What advice would I give somebody? It's definitely cool to stay busy. Don't sit on your first fight for too long. I mean, if you can, opportunity is always everything. And we're really lucky to have hometown promotion here. Just stay busy and just, make adjustments, because every fight you will get so much better, because the pros is a bit of a different game. Mm-hmm. And you just need those fights. You won't make those adjustments in training that much. Yeah.
It's interesting to hear you say that. I think Dan and I have both seen cases where people do sit on that first fight for a while. What kind of detriment could that be to an early pro's career?
I don't know. I just think you won't advance that much. We have seen from training camp to training camp, and this is my 5th training camp, because we got ready last summer and then didn't get an opponent. But every time you get so much sharper, and it's such an awesome feeling to be you're back in the next training camp round, and you're just even sharper, and you're building on it, and that's really the beauty of it, right? The beauty is not to sit there and I don't know what people are doing, but that's the beauty, to really build, because we're not either good or bad. Like everybody has to build, and everybody can get sharper. So I think that's really what it's all about.
Excellent. Thank you. Dan, back to you.
Yeah, just to kind of build off that, I totally agree. You know, like professional boxing is like a momentum type sport. You have to stay active. And when you're not active, it's almost like doing another pro debut because you've been out for so long, right? And you can't really build off what you previously learned in your fight prior to that. So no, definitely good to stay active. And you fought internationally already, right? You fought in Omaha or something, or I can't.
Near Boston. Lowell, which is actually a really big boxing city, but it's
that's where Mickey Ward's from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's where they shot the fighter.
Yeah.
It was really
Very cool.
Sweet. Yeah. So tell us about that experience. Like, how was that different from fighting here at home, other than your fans not being
And then
here
just
in
pass her
crowd?
the mic.
You're like, it's time
Got to
for the
wrangle.
mic. How is that different? I was just thinking because we had two fighters fighting in the States last week and today. I think it always builds some kind of confidence. It's its own experience to sit in that like B-side locker room and you can feel it. Like it's very different. Like it's just you see a lot of people. You're like, oh, you have only 3 fights, and they just throw you to the wolves. Like you see more of the game that pro boxing can be like a little bit dirty. Like it's not great. I came out with a draw and a really great fight, so it was a really good experience, and it was just really important. And having that abroad, I think, just builds even more, and you just it's a different momentum, it's a different confidence, and just that I can. In the amateurs, right? We traveled and everything, and it just gives you a different confidence because you're just relaxed. And I felt like my opponent could feel it right away. We were, John and I in the room, waiting for the scale. I think it was 2 hours, but we were just really relaxed, right? And it just adds to the taking the stage because you are in somebody else's backyard, and it just makes you stronger. Yeah.
I have a question from Lewis Sargent, watching on the live feed. Shout out to Lewis. And it's a great question for both of you. I'll toss it over to Logan first. And it's cool because both of you guys are out of Quinit Boxing Club, so you'll be able to kind of share maybe similar experience. Lewis asks how you guys are preparing mentally for each fight and how the coaches help and teach you to do this with the mental side of your preparations.
I think we got it pretty dialed in at Quinit Boxing mentally. John makes us feel like $1 million. We got the best team there. They know that they want us just to show up, fight. They take care of everything, so we're always comfortable, ready to go. And shouts out Quinit Boxing.
Okay. River, yourself?
Sort of what Logan said. It's having a really big structure in terms of the high performance team where we're both training. We now have special pro training. All of that does add to the mental aspect, just that kind of calmness and confidence. And John is just such a we're not settling for anything, just the best. So it's just, I don't know.
Oh, we're spoiled. Shouts out John and Rebecca. They're the best team.
Amazing. Dan, any last questions?
I just wanted to touch on what River alluded to with our last couple of BC fighters fighting abroad. We had Benit fight tonight, and last weekend we had Elroy fight on the Progreus undercard. And I just want to give a shout out to both of them because it takes a lot of courage, a lot of balls, to do something like that. It's going above and beyond breaking barriers and creating a pathway for the fighters that are coming up behind them by taking big steps, right? So, without risk, there's no reward. And I have a lot of respect for both of them for taking that risk and helping us grow this movement that we have going on.
Amazing. Logan, River, thank you so much. Don't go anywhere if you're watching on the live feed. We've got Kadir coming in. We've got Artem. We've got Lev. So more boxers coming at you. Thank you, too.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Make sure to listen, follow, and subscribe to Empire Boxing on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.